Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Social distancing in the church. God is a spirit. That's what I've been taught since going to church for many years. It's also in the Bible. John 4:24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. How does social distancing impact on the church? Church leaders, members, visiting friends, followers, whoever. Well, the church is not a building. God is not confined to a building. The government says we should not have social gatherings. Yes, we must abide by what the government says. But the government also says that we can go out for essentials, we can get exercise, and we can do bike riding or whatever we choose to do within an hour, as far as I know. So we have parks. Parks have plenty of space. What prevents churches from meeting in parks? They can distance themselves. They can use microphones. They can sing songs. It does not mean that because a church building is on lockdown, that the church should be on lockdown. If that be the case, then we are saying, those of us that believe, that God is a physical force. God is not a physical force. It's a spirit. He's a spirit. Whether those of you who choose to believe that he's a higher being, he's a source from the earth, it don't matter what you say that you subscribe to, he's not physical. So why then has everything come to a standstill? Some people I've talked to have said that their churches still operate off of the internet. What if people don't have internet then? It's okay for those that can have Skype, FaceTime, whatever. But if you have limited funds, you can't afford to run the internet because you have a pay-as-you-go phone or whatever, and your contract is not, I'm giving you that time to sort of use that amount of data to make that Skype call or that face-to-face call. To have a service online, you are limited. Park space is free. So there's no excuse as to why churches are on lockdown. And furthermore, the church talks about faith and God moving in mysterious ways. They knew this time was coming because the government made it very clear that we were going through a pandemic and the churches would be closed. Why didn't the church make some kind of a preparation for its members and for those who go to church on a regular basis, who say they are churchgoers? It seems to me that the church is allowing themselves to be controlled by a government system. And when I say that, I'm not saying that as individuals we should break the law. No, I'm not at all. But I'm saying, what about God's law? God told us in the last days we should meet together, even more so as we see the time approaching. So, would a God say that if he did not know that we could find a way to meet? I also believe that there are many people who have means at this time in churches, and they are aware of those that don't have. This is a time where, even through social distancing, you can pick up the phone and inquire as to how your church member is living. As I said, they got food, and they got basic essentials. Right now in London, buses are free, even more so. So you don't need to think about, saying they have to put money on the Oyster card because they have to come and see you to collect anything, or you've got to do that. You can jump on the bus. Even if you say that you don't want to stand next to them because you want to observe on the law, you can bring them some food. You can do that and give them some money if that's what they need at that time. Church social distancing does not prevent us from reaching out to each other if we choose to. If our faith is built in a building, if our faith is saying that we can only function if we are in a church building, then I'm going to say out loud, we have no faith. God gives us wisdom. It's for us to use it. We talk about love in the church a lot and about being there for your brother and sister. Well, this is the time where we have a chance to put that into action. Some churches, as I say, have 200-300 people, some less, maybe 150, I don't know, whatever. But we should know whether our brothers and sisters are eating right now, if we say we have love. We should know if our brother and sister is having their bills paid. Not because we are prime, but because we say we care and we want to show love. Love without action is just a word. So social distancing does not prevent us from reaching out. It does not. I say that again. So if I say I have love in my heart and you say you have love in your heart, why do I not know whether or not you are coping right now? It's a question, isn't it? One can only answer for themselves. We have our leaders. Yes, some of them may have families and so on, and they have things that they have to do, fair enough. But when you take up that mantle, you are saying that you are accountable for your flock, which means that you have the right to say to your wife, to your husband, as the case may be, because you have ministers that are male and female, I need to know how the members are coping during this time. If we social distance now at this time, that means that even when we had a building, we were socially distant. It's just that what this time does, it just shows us where we really stand with each other. So I've heard many people say, well, we can't do anything. There's nothing we can do. I say you're wrong. There's always something that we can do if we really want to do it. So social distancing, for me, is a mindset. It's all in your heart. If I want to really reach out to you, I will if I choose to. If I don't, I won't, whether there's a building or not. So, if the churches are distant now because the buildings are closed, then their hearts were always closed. It's just that now, because we are going through this time, we are now seeing what is really happening. Yes, this may seem harsh, but is it not the truth? I should not be here and not hearing from my brother or sister. If I was hugging and kissing them in a building, whatever, maybe I can't do that now. But I should know about them and vice versa. So I too speak this of myself. If I say I love God, and I mean business for God, and I don't know what's happening with my brother or sister, it tells me what I really am about, and vice versa. Stay safe and stay blessed.